Today, we're diving into the belief I'm too much, I'm too emotional, I'm too dramatic. And this belief doesn't start with confidence issues. It starts with emotional survival. Today, we're talking about what happens when your feelings were minimized, dismissed, or treated like a problem. You learn to quiet your reactions, you tone yourself down, and you manage how you come across. So if you ever felt embarrassed by your emotions or afraid of being too much for someone, this episode will feel uncomfortably familiar. Let's get into it. The next limiting belief that I really had to work through is I'm too much, too emotional, I'm too dramatic. And this one has lived in me for so long. I don't always notice it anymore. Like it's become a part of my identity. This you're too dramatic, you're too much, just calm down. I've heard those messages so many times in so many ways that I learned to police myself. I think the memory that shaped me is I remember being in grade 3, and this is from hypnotherapy I dived in, but I remember standing in front of the class and getting told by my teacher that I was being too dramatic. I remember the way that my stomach sank and like the heat rising in my cheeks, the way my body just froze. And I wish that I hadn't said anything. I wanted to disappear. And that moment planted a seed, the belief that expressing myself makes people uncomfortable and that I should be quieter, smaller, and more digestible. And this wasn't a one-time thing. Over the years, this pattern kept repeating. Whenever I tried to cry to friends about my parents fighting or the relationship or what's going on at home, they didn't know how to hold it. It felt weird. I felt like I was, okay, this is too much. Don't talk about this tough stuff. It makes people uncomfortable. And I feel like my emotions felt inconvenient. When I tried to share them, it almost just felt like, but no, you're the fun girl. What do you mean you're going to talk about your feelings? Like, we like you because you're fun and you make things exciting and happy. What you're going to talk about your feelings? Like, no, that's not convenient. So when I shared my truth, this deep part of me that, wasn't always fun and games, and someone laughed, rolled their eyes, or dismissed it, vulnerability started to feel like shame. So I adapted. I only was the easy friend, the one who didn't need too much. I started scanning rooms for safety, constantly adjusting my presence so that I wouldn't take up too emotional space. And I got really good at making myself small. It's easier because if I was small, I wasn't seen and I wasn't made fun of. And I remember this happening, a couple of years ago, actually in a yoga class also. I had this moment where I felt radiant, alive. I felt like expanded. And I remember just sitting there being like, wow, this feels so good. And literally 2 seconds later, this girl leans over and goes to me, you're not supposed to wipe your mat with that cloth. And I just instantly spiraled. My nervous system, trained by years of rejection, interpreted that message, that look as, oh no, here I go again. I'm being too much. Even joy felt like it was too unsafe. And here's the part that no one talks about, the guilt spiral. Every time I finally express something, a boundary, a truth, a frustration, I immediately question myself. Wait, was that too much? Should I have said that? Was I too emotional? Did I overreact? And even when I needed to speak up, I still apologized for doing it. And you might be wondering, how is this tied to success? Well, for me, it's everything. Because if I'm holding the belief that I'm too much, then I'll keep toning myself down. I keep watering myself down to be liked. I edit my voice. I dim my light. I silence my fire just to stay palatable. And that means I'm not creating from my truth. I'm creating from my fear. And you can't build an authentic platform. You can't build authentic success when you're filtering down your soul. So this belief still tries to creep in, but I'm trying to choose a different story, that my emotions are not a burden. They're sacred messengers. Everybody has emotions and we deserve to feel them. That is what is being human. And my sensitivity is my superpower. I get to take up emotional space without apologizing for it. Why do I have to always be the fun girl. I don't have to constantly make everyone else feel comfortable. If my emotions make you uncomfortable, that is okay. I deserve to express them. And I get to take up emotional space without apologizing. I'm allowed to be soft. I'm allowed to be wild, loud, joyful, angry, and I still deserve to be loved in all of it. And I think another one was my bigness was never the problem. Other people's smallness was. And I'm reclaiming the part of me that I once tried to shrink. I'm done being digestible. I'm done being just the fun girl because I have so many more layers than just that. Yeah, I still am the fun girl, but if you hurt me or you do something, I deserve to share that. I think us taking this and applying it, it's going to make a better world instead of like ignoring the friend because they hurt you. And then all the friends like, oh my God, did I do something? I don't know what happened. If I just like went to them and said, hey, it hurt my feelings when you did this. How much easier would that be instead of having to guess like, oh my God, what did I do? So here's the thing. It isn't just about mindset. It's nervous system based. It's in your subconscious. Your body remembers the rejection, the shutdown, the shame, and every time you go to express yourself again, it braces. It literally contracts. It protects. It's possible to heal though, and that's where hypnotherapy is such a powerful tool. In hypnotherapy, we get to the root, the exact moment your body learned being big equals being abandoned, or emotions equal rejection, or truth equals danger. And we get to meet that younger version of you, not to shame her, but to free her and to remind her you were never too much. They were never enough. Or it's safe now. You're allowed to be all of you. And your fullness is lovable. It always has been. So if you've ever felt like your fire was too bright, your feelings were too loud, or your truth was too intense, this is your invitation. You don't have to shrink anymore. You don't have to apologize for your bigness. You get to reclaim every part of you, fully, unapologetic, and loudly, because you are not too much. You've just been in too many spaces that were never safe enough to hold you. Well, that's it for today, but tomorrow we're going to dig into more. So when you grow up believing that you're too much, you don't just suppress emotions, you suppress expression. And eventually that turns into a deeper fear. If I fully show up as myself, people will leave. So tomorrow's episode is all about that belief, why shining, succeeding, or being fully yourself can feel like a threat to connection. So day 5 explains why you hold yourself back even when you know you're capable for more. We'll see you soon.